everyone, it's Almi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be going over my June reading wrap up. So I had a really busy month and it wasn't particularly productive, which I'm bummed about, but nonetheless, I got some books read. So let's go over them. Two of them I have already done a review on, so you can go ahead and watch that. The first one is Silver Fox by Kayla Gross. It was a spicy novella that was an age gap romance. It was sort of the dad works with him sort of romance. It was set on a coastal / beachy cabin. Hot, steamy, fun from the beginning. I really enjoyed it. I did give it 5 stars. If you're looking for a short, spicy, summery read, I highly suggest Silver Fox by Kayla Gross. So far, that's been my favorite by the author. I didn't love some of her other works, but this one was really good. The second book I read this month was Devil in Spring by Lisa Kleypas. 6 stars. Oh my gosh, I loved it from front to end. It was amazing. So we have our heroine Pandora. She is quirky, not like other girls. Some have called her divergent, neurodivergent. And we have our hero who is Gabriel St. Vincent. That name sounds familiar. That's right. He is the son of Sebastian St. Vincent and Evie Jenner. And so I knew it was going to be fun from the beginning, and let's just say it has my favorite trope, which is the compromised heroine. I love when two people get caught where they shouldn't be, whether they're doing something they should or shouldn't do. I just love it in historicals. It's my all-time favorite. So yeah, I don't want to give too many spoilers. I have a whole review on it on my channel, but Devil in Spring by Lisa Kleypas, spoiler alert, it was my favorite book of June, so I loved it so much. All right, the next book I read was A Duke Makes a Deal by Matilda Madison. This was a really fun read. So this, well, actually it wasn't an arc. So I have worked with Matilda Madison before. I'm actually going to read an arc for her in July, The Beauty and the Boxer. But this one I bought with my own money. I pre-ordered it, so it's all my opinions, which they always are anyway for arcs, but nonetheless, I want to let that information be known. So, in A Duke Makes a Deal, I loved the premise. So, the beginning is this woman, Clara. She's like, oh, I really want to marry this guy. I think it's going to work out. I think he's going to propose tonight. This man is a dastardly jerk, and she has no idea. And so, the men sort of like, you know at balls, like they'd have like the men's go to their lounge and chill out for a while, and the women be like, I gotta cool off and powder myself, although powder, like, you shouldn't have makeup on during the time, but you know what I mean. They'd like rest and drink some lemonade and chit chat and be like, oh my gosh, I love Lord Schnickelfritz, he's amazing, or whatever. And like the men would go to like the smoking chambers and smoke and gamble and, you know, talk about people they liked, I guess. And so the men are playing cards, and the dastardly man that Claire is interested in sort of like, he's like, I don't care about her, I'm gonna bet her. Like, I'm just gonna, like, whoever wants her can have her. And like, you know, well, the Duke bets on her and wins her in the game of cards. You know, she doesn't have to say yes, but it's like, oh my goodness. So it's a marriage of convenience trope. It's a sort of enemies to lovers. You know, it's never actually true enemies to lovers in that trope, but they have some qualms they have to work out in really fun banter. It was a really good story. So, like I said, with this marriage of convenience, it was more so they get married and don't know each other, don't really like each other. And I really enjoy seeing the characters in historicals, not modern day, Lord have mercy, but in historicals, getting to know one another after the marriage and letting that relationship grow, especially when it's been sort of a forced union, so to speak. So Duke Makes a Deal by Matilda Madison, really fun. It's the start of a new series. It's with Dragon Blade, so check it out. It's not very much money, it's like $2.99, so go support an author. You know, so really enjoyed it. And then the fourth book I read this year was one that's really beloved. It's by Elisa, I believe is how you say it, Elisa Braden, and that is The Making of a Highlander. I've always called it the Merida romance. I gave it a 4, so I liked it a lot. I mean, 4 is like, oh my gosh, it was good, really good. But for me, it's like, I liked it a lot. It wasn't my favorite sort of thing. So I give it a 4. The thing that hindered it for me personally as a reader was it had a lot of this Scottish brogue accent. And I can understand it in films and like stuff like that, but it's really hard for me to read. And so that was a big deterrent for me. And it was hard for me to understand a lot of what they're saying. Like I can read it and comprehend it, but it's just, it takes a little longer than I like. So that frustrates me and makes me frustrated, you know. So I didn't love that. The romance was a little more slow burn than I particularly like. And the characters, like the joining of them in the romance wasn't my favorite either. It's because it was so slow burn and they were kind of like annoyed to lovers sort of thing. I just either wanted them to have something happen where it speeds up the process, or they just ended up together, to be honest. But when they do come together, it is really fun. It was a lot more spicy and explicit than I thought, just because of how slow it moved. It was like 0 to 100 sort of for me as a reader when it got to the explicit scenes. So that I did enjoy reading those scenes, but I wish it had more preparation for them to have that sort of connection and passion for one another. I wish it wasn't so drastic of a carnal change, so to speak. But overall, I said it was pretty good. I think I just put in my review better than I expected, which it was, because the brogue and the slow burn, oof, it was making it a challenge. It was a book I read because I don't like to DNF. I said, oh, this is good practice to work on my speed reading for the year and my persistence to not DNF. So I was proud of myself for not DNFing. And overall, I liked the story. Book 2, I'm really interested in. I believe the hero is a masked hero, so I'm really excited for that. And a lot of my friends have enjoyed the sequel. So I did buy the book. Well, books 1 and 2 I got when they were like free on Amazon for some reason. Like the author had a promotion, or it was part of a stuff your Kindle sort of thing, or historicals were on sale, or I had what's it, like digital credit. So they were free, so you know, I wasn't too mad about it. But I'm not actively probably gonna buy the other ones unless they're free, which is bad to say. But with the heavy brogue, I'm not gonna love it as much as someone that really loves Scottish heritage, Scottish brogue in writing and Highlander romances. I much prefer Victorian, Edwardian, Regency in England and America. But yeah, overall, like I said, better than I expected. I did not have a dud this month, which was wonderful, because it would be horrid to only read 4 books and they all be terrible. But I had, the lowest was a 4-star. I had 2 5-stars and a 6-star. So you know, even though I only read 4 books, I had some wonderful reads, and I'm really grateful. I always get really sad when I see someone that has like they'll have like their monthly wrap up, like in the little picture thing on Instagram. They'll have like 35 books and only like 3 of them will have a 5-star. I mean, 4 stars are good, but man, I wish my friends all had like 6 and 5 stars all the time. So I'm like, oh, you poor little thing. So yeah, so I always feel bad about that. Do y'all feel bad when you see people have like a bad reading month, even if you don't particularly know them, you just follow each other on Instagram and stuff? I don't know, I feel bad for them. Like, oh, bless your little heart. You know, you need to read something good. I'll send you something. And typically, I'm pretty good at figuring out what someone would like, just because I'm like, okay, they gave that a 5-star, so they're gonna like this probably because of this trope and that trope, you know. And I think as readers, we can defer that from everyone. We can see like, oh, if they like this book, they probably would like this because they like that sort of thing. So like, I'll recommend something to my friend. I'm like, oh, I think you'll like this because it has an orc or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. Well, I've talked way too much. I need to go. Everyone have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.